Hey, how you guys doing out here? This is Gab with Yab and my co-host Richard Carrington. And I'd like to say hello to all my gabbers out there.
Yes, the gabbers.
Exactly. And you guys know what this month is. This month is Black History Month. It's the 1st of February. And we're going to take this whole month and dedicate it to us.
Yes.
Okay, Black history.
Yes.
Famous inventors, famous people,
yes,
and things that they did. We're going to start off with a young lady by the name of Malnea Cass.
Yes.
Now I'm up here in Boston, and it's a street name after this young lady, Malnea Cass, and she was born in June 16th, 1896 in Boston, and basically she was a black activist, and what she was doing is just fighting for women's rights, fighting for black rights here in Boston. Okay, she did it for a long time, and anybody in this area know that intersection is significant to her name and things like that. Also, is known for a lot of trash and stuff like that as far as the homeless and things like that. The homeless live in that area, and it's not too bad. It's not too good as far as an area in Boston.
Yeah.
But here lately, the mayor went on ahead and cleaned that up. So now it's looking good, it's looking prosperous, and hopefully that area can flourish.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's important, man, that, as we focus on Black History Month, that we talk about real people and not the people that always mentioned. Oftentimes, when we talk about Black history, we talk about people, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X,
right.
and then, the inventors and stuff like that. But I think it's important to talk about people that made a difference that not so many people may have heard about or really, knew the gravity of what they did. Because when you talk about, Malnea Cass, she was a trailblazer.
Yes. And
she was, she really worked in the community to affect positive change. And that's what's important because, back when she was coming up, but I think even when I was a kid, there was a person in every community that you could go to.
Right.
So say like, you would have, a lot of them ended up being in politics, but there were people that you could go to and you could say, I'm looking for a job, or I'm looking for this, or I need help with court, I need help with this.
Oh, okay.
And there were people that you could go to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe saying things are not right in the neighborhood, or
right.
So we got some tension going on.
Right. Yeah. So like neighborhood activists or whatever they would call them.
Right.
But she was on a grander scale than that because what she was doing, she was helping, people like the next step. So you got a job, but she would help you get, Social Security. She would help you unionize if you were trying a union. They didn't really call it like that.
Right.
But she would work with groups of people and help them to, get what they need to get a fair wage or get something, that's just. And she was, I think she was very brave.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And to get a street named after you,
big.
Yeah, especially back then as a woman going, back then.
Yes.
That's pretty amazing, man. And I think she was actually born in Virginia. She was born in Richmond, and she came down here as a young girl.
Exactly.
And it said she went to the girls. She went to the girls' high school. They called it. I think they call it Girls Latin or something. I know my mother went to girls.
Latin, it was a Latin. Black and Latin school, kind of like a charter school.
Yeah, like Girls Latin. I think my mother went to like a girls' school because back then they had more girls' schools. Like I think the Jeremiah Burke might have been a girls' school at that time. I'm not sure.
Matter of fact, it was a Catholic school.
Okay,
Catholic school.
Okay.
Saint Agnes or something like that,
And then, so she, she was smart and she was determined.
Yes,
so
she was.
And that's really what we need, especially in 2022. And I'm still talking about Black history. We're talking about people that were willing to stand for something, and that's what you always say. You got to be willing to stand for something, and she was really willing to stand and stand for people. And when you have someone like that, man, you have to acknowledge them and recognize them and lift them up.
That's right. And not only that, during that time when she was doing her activist work and stuff like that, she was wound up being the president of the NAACP charter in Boston. And for you guys that don't know what NAACP stands for, it stands for National Association for the Alliance of Colored People, meaning that was a big organization that helped blacks out, and just in case they had a problem, had things going on, had trouble in your neighborhood, had trouble in your job. That was a system that would come in and help out. Just like now, George Floyd and everything like that, when he had his situation going on, the NAACP stepped in and took over that, and they have lawyers as well.
Right.
So that's definitely a big program for us. A lot of people may not know that.
Yeah, Thurgood Marshall, I believe, was one of the first NAACP lawyers.
Right.
You know, that Chief Justice. So, yeah, you know, and I think it's important, man, because I think we're all looking for someone to model after. And it doesn't always have to be, you know, you don't have to get out there and, you know, have to be a great speaker and all that. You just got to get out there and do the work.
That's right. And that's what she did. And she was definitely a strong young lady. She's a strong lady.
Yeah.
And she did it for a long time.
Yeah.
A long time. And she didn't do a whole lot of other stuff. She tried to get a job, you know, here and there.
Right.
But it was still bad for blacks up here in Boston.
Yes.
So she wound up being a domestic worker. And working up through the ranks there. She got married and everything to her husband. His last name was Cass. You know, her last name was Jones. She was Malnea Jones.
That was her maiden name. Yes.
Right, and then she turned to a Cass. So he went to the military, and they had 2 kids.
Right.
And everything like that. So he came back, and they was still doing the activist stuff she was.
Right.
He wound up dying in 1958.
Right.
And she continued on to do what she can do for the community. And basically, they named her, I think she was like the Queen of Roxbury.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I would talk to, my mother would talk
First
about
Lady
her.
of Roxbury.
First Lady, that my mother would talk about, you know, her, because my mother grew up in Roxbury.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, talked about, I believe she passed in 81.
Right.
But I remember my mother talking about her and saying, you know, like maybe going to some marches or something with her, or, you know, I know when Dr. King came that she marched with them, and she was really, you know, it's amazing that there's people that we don't know about.
I know.
You know what I mean? Or that have done so significant work, and, you know, they're never really mentioned, you know?
Didn't get recognized. I never heard of it until I came up here.
Right.
And I still didn't know.
Right.
Even though I pressed that intersection plenty of times. I thought that was maybe a Spanish name, Malnea Cass. That really doesn't seem like a black name.
Right.
You know, but it still didn't dawn on me who that was.
Right.
You know, by the way, she died in 1978.
78, okay.
Right, so then you go past that, you still don't know what's going on until you do your research.
Right.
And once I started doing my research, I did a lot of research on Black history in Boston.
Yeah.
And she was the first one I came across. I
Wow.
said, okay. And then I remember Malnea Cass at the intersection.
Right.
What's going on with her? And turned up what we found now.
There you go, man.
And there's nothing wrong with that, man. Strong. And we need not only strong black women, but strong black men to step up and do things for us.
Right.
You know,
and to be, you know, those positive forces in the community and that can organize and, you know, that can help people.
That's right.
You know, because people are hurting, man. You know.
Yeah. Jobs, things like that. Now a big thing, the mental thing in the black community. Mental health is really big in the black community now. You know, we had getting off topic for just a little bit. We had that actor Regina King. Her son died of mental illness.
Yes.
And it was nobody knew about it. Maybe she did, or maybe her family did.
Right.
But he took his life due to mental illness. A young guy, 26 years old. So we got to really look at each other and see what's going on.
Right.
Check out the signs.
Yeah.
If you see a sign of a person just being standoffish, not talking and want to be by themselves, go embrace that person. See what's going on with them. See what's wrong. And I always say, each one, teach one.
That's right.
And that's what we need to do in the black community, man.
Right.
Black community.
That's one thing I really like about you too, brother, that you always, you know, like you reach out to people and you're open, you know, to talking to them, and, you know, you're very jolly. So you're easily approachable.
Right.
So people will come, you know, people see you and they feel safe, like they can talk to you. And that's important, man, because a lot of mental health stuff is that people are ashamed and the stigma. So they don't want to, you know, they don't want people to say, you know, judge them or think, you know.
Or you crazy.
Right, so they'll hold it in.
Right. A lot of black folk don't want to go get help because they feel ashamed and feel, you're going to be judged as being crazy.
Yeah.
But, you know, getting help for mental health and mental illness is a big thing out here now.
Yeah.
So if you think you're having problems, or if you know a loved one that has problems, get them some help.
Right.
Give them the help they need. Talk to them.
Right.
And the biggest thing is the talking.
Yeah.
Keep communication, because you never know when a person get off the grid and go into a funk.
Right.
And it could be rough, man. Like that, the young lady, the Miss America, or something like that. She did the same thing, right? Took her life a couple weeks ago. And not to say I understand it, because people could be going through a lot.
Yeah. But
then again, a lot of people put a lot of stuff on them for a reason or another and just can't take it.
Right. Right. Yeah. You know, that's what happens a lot. Like you said, people, they take on stuff and they keep stuff bottled in, and then, you know, they snap, and then they do something, you know, that they sometimes don't even really mean to do, or don't expect for it to go that far. But like you said, the talking piece and getting help is really what we're talking about. You know, Malnea Cass, because she was there. She was there for people again, and you know,
especially with the voting. Because here in Boston, once again, a lot of people may not know, but it was definitely segregation here in Boston, and I, for one, didn't know how big it was, because I'm from down south. I'm from D.C., so I didn't know anything about Boston and the busing and things like that until I came up here. So I'm like, what? So I knew all about the South and what was going on down there, but it's two places. It's the South and it's up here in Boston.
That's right.
And it could have been other places too, but a lot of people don't know, a lot of the slaves and stuff, they escaped. You know, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, they come up this way to be free.
Right.
You know, so this was like a free area to an extent.
Right.
And they had situations where they put out laws that if you were caught by a slave hunter and things like that, you would have to go back and get sold back into slavery. So, you know, but that didn't come up. That didn't come up till later, because they had to abolish certain things. They come up with an act that if they come up here and they caught you, they can bring you back. So a lot of runaway slaves and stuff like that, they even went as far as Canada. So once you got to Canada, you were fine. Right. A lot of people don't know that. So, but definitely Boston was the catalyst for free slaves and being able to get themselves together and buying a house and things like that, and trying to create a life for themselves.
Yeah, man.
You know, so
there's a lot of rich history here, man. There's a lot of it's ugly, but it's what it is, man. You know?
That's right. And once again, do you know when the busing situation
that was
stopped here?
Well, it was in the 70s. I know.
Yeah. So, and they got it all together, and that's good, because this area here in Boston is a big melting pot for anybody that's never been up here. Right. You have blacks, whites, Asian, Hispanics. You know, Filipinos, Haitians, Africans, Cape Verdeans, all the Caribbean islands, and it's a big melting pot up here. So you can have some of anybody up here. You know. So you have to be you can't be narrow-minded.
Exactly.
You got to have you can't have your blinders on. You have to have a sense of focus of who you're dealing with, because you got all different type of races and nationalities up here.
That's very well put. Yeah, man. And
not only that, they have history as far as, you know, the first war and everything like that. People, you know, they shot her around the world.
Started here.
Things like that, right? Right here.
The U.S. started here. Started here.
A lot of people may not know that Massachusetts was one of the 13 colonies. You know. And we just putting everything out here for you guys, you know, because I got a lot of history, me and Rich. And we got a lot of stuff out here that we giving out to everybody starting this month.
Yeah, we're going to share it all.
Yes, we are. And once again, we share with you Miss Malnea Cass. For anybody that didn't know that, go down to that area where she is. That's Malnea Cass in Mass Avenue. And it's the intersection, and just take a look at that name on that sign and just reflect on the things that she's done throughout her time and throughout her life. And she was definitely a courageous woman. And she did a lot. She did a lot, man.
Very inspirational. I think people should, you know, Google her, look on, you know, look up on her and see, you know, some of the other things, you know.
And definitely look up on her. Just to look her up and check her out, just in case some things that we miss. And but once again, she's one of a host of people that we're going to be talking about this month on Black History. Black History Gab with Yab.
Yes.
Anything else, Rich? You got anything else to say on
Just
it?
tell the gabbers to get ready.
That's right, Gabbers. You get ready. Good. I like that, Rich.
Right.
Gabbers, get ready.
Yes, yes.
So some things gonna be coming down the pike, and you guys are gonna love it.
Right.
And once again, we're gabbing with Yab. Good night.
Good night. Yeah, man.
I kind of ad-libbed that, but that was like, we did good.
Yeah, you know, it was very good, man.
Yep.